Because, Karen, you brought this up about Sean Payton's level of autonomy in this organization, which is really unusual in modern pro sports. Sean Payton made every decision for this team, every free agent decision, every budgetary decision. This team, in every way, ran through Sean Payton in a way that other NFL teams do not run right now. Nick, is it your take that whoever takes over for Sean Payton, that maybe Mickey Loomis is going to have more control than he had with Payton, and that this will become more of a team effort than led by one? And look, I'm not saying it was wrong with Sean Payton running it. Obviously, the Saints won a lot of games in the last 16 years. But would you guess that the next coach will not have quite the same level of autonomy that Payton had?
I think that the next person, if they do end up having that level of control that he had, they'll earn it over time. I don't think it's something that you walk into and you hand them Sean Payton's reins. I think, like you said, Mickey Loomis takes a grip on him. And look, I wonder what they're going to do moving forward. Does Mickey Loomis move up at this point and become more of a presidential figure in Jeff Ireland, or Kai Harley moves into a general manager role? I think it's an opportunity to kind of look at everything you're doing, tinker and rebuild it, or restructure it rather, for the move forward. Because if you remember, when Sean Payton, it was 2017 or 20, back when he did one of his contracts, he tried to get a clause in there that he was tied to Mickey Loomis. And as long as Mickey Loomis was the general manager, he was under contract. And if anything ever happened to Mickey, it would void his contract. The league obviously didn't allow that. That language isn't allowed to be in contracts. But I think Mickey being in this role, as long as he's been, is to do with Sean Payton, and that he wanted him in that role. And I think Jeff Ireland was the assistant GM, just because that's the structure that Sean was comfortable with. You take Sean out, it's a chance to look at everything. So I think there's going to be a lot of different changes. A lot of things are going to be different moving forward with the way they run this team.
Yeah, and I did not mean that as a criticism of the way the organization was structured, because clearly this is what worked. And Mickey Loomis has done a brilliant job of maneuvering the salary cap every year when we think the Saints can't go get free agents, and all of a sudden they do have money to do it. Loomis has done a brilliant job with that. I in no way meant that as a criticism when I said Payton had that kind of autonomy, because he had earned it, and clearly it led to a lot of wins. I would just expect more of a normal structure going forward.